I mentioned this with Tony Dungy. I feel like if you're not drafted in the first round at that position, it takes you longer. It takes longer for us to almost anoint you as being worthy. Like Dak Prescott, if he's a first-round draft pick, we probably don't look at him the way we do as a third or fourth-round pick. Russell Wilson with a third-round pick. Why is that?
Well, it's because of the resource that you invest in that position. It's unlike any other position on the field where there's only one quarterback. You can't say that about any of the other important positions on the field. And so when you draft a guy in the first round, not only are you putting the money resource, the draft pick resource, but you're putting a team of coaches and support staff around that person to try to get success, because we know clearly that's the most important position on the football field. And so when you put so much into that first round pick, you're going to give them more time to develop and you're going to give them more opportunities. But when you have a third round pick like that, you're not always drafting them with the intent of making them your franchise quarterback. A lot of times you're thinking, well, he could be a backup, or maybe we develop him down the line and trade him like some teams have done. And so it's all about how much you invest in that position as a first round pick versus a later round draft choice.
Yeah, but like Gardner Minshew, oh, he's a cute little story. Kyle Allen, yeah, it's a nice little story. Like we're not validating what they do, probably because Kyle Allen's not drafted and Gardner Minshew is a mid-round draft pick here.
Yeah, well, it's because of why you get drafted in the mid-rounds. It's because you have some type of flaw in your game that we saw in college, whether it be your decision-making, your arm strength, your accuracy, whatever it is. Going through that draft process, they've identified a flaw, and so you have to overcome that and prove that you can do it at the NFL level because of whatever that flaw is. Whereas when you're a top pick, you have some type of talent where teams are looking at it and saying, wow, Patrick Mahomes, look at this arm. This is generational. So we're ready to anoint him because in our minds we are already preconceived to be able to see that he could be great. So it's just a matter of overcoming some preconceived notions that we have as fans, as coaches, as evaluators in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess I got sidetracked because I think Russell Wilson's been doing this. It's just taken people longer to realize that he's been doing this. I think he's been as valuable to his team as anybody, any player in the last couple of years. So you got a chance to see him up close and personal.
Yeah.
What did you see last?
Part of that is because being in Seattle for whatever reason, just because it's such an East Coast dominant sport in football and in sports in general. Seattle, they're always playing the afternoon game. They're not on everybody's TV as much. So people don't realize how much Russell Wilson does for this team, because he's not always the guy that's putting up 400 yards, but he's always finding a way to win. And that's, to me, why he's the most valuable. He makes everybody around him better, and he finds a way to win.
If you could block for any quarterback now, who would it be?
I would love to block for Russell Wilson. Like I mentioned earlier, he makes everybody on that team better. Patrick Mahomes, he would be a lot of fun too. It's hard to argue between those two, but I just feel like Russell Wilson, with his experience and his decision-making, not only in the pocket, but when he starts to run, and his ability to understand when it's time to scramble and when it's time to scramble and make an unbelievable throw, and the fact that he's playing flawless football, nearly completing almost 75% of his passes, throwing the ball down the field, and just finding a way to win, I think it would be fun to play with him, because as much fun as it is to have the Star Wars offense in Kansas City and score 40 or 50 points, to me, the exciting thing about playing in the NFL is finding a new way to win every week. And when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson, that's exactly what he's doing, because you're never in a game where you're saying, okay, it's over or we don't have a chance. You're always looking and saying, Russell Wilson's our guy. We're going to win this game.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.